Karibu sana Club 1999. It has been quite a while, but I guess it's better very late than never at all. And so, without wasting any time, let's get down to business. Shortly after this aircraft from China landed in Kenya, with 239 passengers on board, and then the controversy broke out. Shortly after that, I received some very interesting information. One of my informants told me, check out carefully the background of those passengers who landed in the country on that aircraft from China. Because behind the background of those passengers is the biggest story of the century. Now, any journalist in the world will tell you that getting any information related, linked to China, is very, very difficult. It's almost impossible. But I tried, and I dug out some very interesting information about 2 or 3 passengers. Not verified, but at least it was a start. Now, what is significant, and I believe some of you already have this information, but maybe have not been able to link it, to this story of the century I was being told about, is the following. Some of those passengers on that aircraft were not Chinese nationals. Some were citizens of other powerful Western countries. Number 2, some of those passengers were on transit, meaning that their final destination was not Kenya. Now, before we proceed, let us back up a little and find out or state what this dreaded coronavirus has done to people the world over. Now, we know that there are people trapped within China, people from all over the world who are trapped within China. They can't move. Apart from the university students, there are people who are on transit, either going there for business or for some meetings. All those people are trapped, and they're from all over the world. Now, let me humanize it even more. Your wife, the mother of your children, left the country to go to some conference in China. And now, the mother of your children is missing. Not really missing. They're not at home. And you don't know, you have no idea when they'll be back. And it gets worse. Some countries have put restrictions on people traveling from certain parts of the world to enter their country. For example, let's start with right here home in Kenya. Kenya has banned direct flights from northern Italy to Malindi in Kenya. The US has banned entry to their country from people who have been in China for a certain duration of time. And the list is growing bigger and bigger every day of countries who have placed one or the other ban on people who enter their country. Now, as we all know, the world is not fair. If you are rich and influential, you can get things done. Now, this is where the Chinese flights come in. You'll remember, before the Chinese flights were banned, the government told us to expect more similar flights. Do you remember that? Now, it seems that Kenya was going to be used as a transit point for people who wanted to get out of the trap of China. So hypothetically, this is the way it works. You're trapped in China. You're very influential. You're very rich. You can't travel to the country of your choice. So what do? You use your money and your influence, and you get a flight into Kenya. And then from Kenya, you can fly on transit to a few other countries before you land at your final destination. Now, the really scary thing here is that it is not only China where people want to fly out, where they desperately want to fly out. Let's take the example of Italy. Italy has been hit very hard by the virus. So if you're a rich and influential person in that country, and you know most of your nationals are in Kenya, you want to get to Malindi as soon as possible. It's a holiday destination. There are not too many visa restrictions. Yeah, it's perfect. And you have people already living there. And so, since you can't take a direct flight, yeah, it's very easy. You fly into JKIA. Yeah, you've not flown in from China, so no problem. You enter the country, and then you take another flight to Malindi from within the country. Or you go by road from Nairobi or Mombasa or wherever. Now, the huge danger here is that we know Kenya is a very corrupt country. And we know that people are always looking for money-making opportunities without considering the consequences, yeah, even if it would mean loss of life. So you get my drift? Through corruption and because of our rotten, corrupt system, Kenya may end up accommodating a lot of people from danger zones, not just China. There are a lot of other countries in the world which are very badly hit. And even where those people flying to the country have not yet been affected, they're migrating. Yeah, they're migrating to safer grounds. Yeah, and most people consider many African locations safe. For instance, the Italian community in Malindi, where everybody knows everybody else. Yeah, that is a safe haven. At least much safer than remaining in Italy. Now, I saw a story today where hoteliers in Malindi are very worried that the coronavirus will affect their business badly. In my view, they've got it wrong. In fact, they should prepare for bookings they cannot handle. They should prepare for a business boom like no other they have ever seen. Many other African countries should prepare for the same. Yeah. Now that is on the bright side. On the negative side, do I need to say? This business boom will bring serious disease danger. Very serious danger of the coronavirus taking a hold and spreading in unprepared Africa. Now, in my view, yeah, and I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, Africa seems to have remained mostly unscathed by this deadly coronavirus. And many people believe, in fact, the problem is we don't even have the equipment to test for it effectively. There are some people who believe that it is already here. Yeah, but in Africa, yeah, I'll just repeat what I've heard. In Africa, there are so many deaths, we don't know how to test for it, that so far we have not yet noticed. But I'm an optimist. I'm looking at it from the positive side of things. I believe, in my opinion, yeah, the continent has remained mostly unscathed and very much untouched by the virus, especially local black Africans. And it is super fascinating that the other pandemics of the past, yeah, like the swine flu, have not been very effective in spreading in Africa. In my view, Africans have some kind of immunity, yeah, or at least they're much less vulnerable to the coronavirus. Whatever the reason, yeah, even if I'm wrong, in the coming days and months, people will increasingly look to Africa as a safe haven from the disease. That is from the positive perspective. But being more realistic and refusing to listen to Kumekucha, who is not an expert, we're in great danger. Because we're going to be importing very many suspect people into the country. And these suspect people will mostly be served by the vulnerable in our community, yeah, low-income workers. Those are the people they'll come into contact with. Now you can start to imagine, yeah, these people living in slums or in dwellings where there are very many people. If they catch this virus, wow. What will happen to Kenya? And if indeed that is what is going to happen, yeah, we will only have ourselves to blame. Our corrupt, rotten system to blame. Yeah. And in my view, yeah, if you believe, and like me, that Africans are as vulnerable as anybody else, then we're in a very dangerous situation, much more dangerous than even Western countries. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.